After a hailstorm, timing is super important. Everything needs to be fast, from getting storm data to your sales team getting to a neighborhood and the ever-changing world of marketing. But after $1 billion hailstorm hits an area, your focus should be on running your business, not on insurance claims. We have helped streamline the insurance process for hundreds of roofing contractors across the U.S., and we can do it for yours too.
Oh, whoops. There we go. We had two halves of one commercial for C3 Group in there. That's my mistake on that one. But welcome, everybody. It is the Monday, 12 p.m. hail forecast here on Hail Trace, sponsored by C3 Group. We got two beginnings of a commercial on that one. That was our mistake. But check them out in the description below. And if you go contact them to say Hail Trace sent you. And we got a bit to talk about today. This past weekend, we had a little bit of activity, a couple tornadoes in Oklahoma and Arkansas yesterday. Saturday had, I think, just a little bit of activity, not too much activity. Then, of course, Friday evening, we had yet another 3-star map across Colorado Springs. Our map is getting full pins for that area where people keep getting impacted over and over again. Let's see what we have in store for today. Before we get into that, just a friendly reminder, download that app if you don't have it already on the App Store, on Google Play Store. You can watch the videos on the app if you're out working already. You can click on the lightning bolt and it'll bring up the YouTube stream of this video and you can watch that and also work at the same time, so you can kind of just listen to it. If there's anything piques your interest, you can click on it and then go into full screen mode, and that will give you the full version of the video. And make sure you have notifications set up in the event that we have any live videos, any sort of large hail occurring, hail in your region, new maps available. All of that can go through the app, through the email, or through your desktop computer, as long as you get that all set up on hailtrace.com, and you can customize it to whatever your business needs may be, whether it's for certain city areas, whole states, or the entire country, or even Canada or Australia. You can customize it to all of your needs right there on the notifications settings on your desktop computer. Now going to forecast today, we've got two different areas we're looking at. The first of which I've zoomed in here for sections of the Mississippi Valley in places just to the east of Little Rock through the Memphis area, and then probably right around Jackson. Tennessee is where I think the cutoff is going to be. The majority of storms are going to form fairly soon, next hour or two. Again, probably just to the east of Little Rock. I have a 2% chance for Little Rock. However, looks like storms will form just to your east, move through eastern sections of Arkansas. So I'm giving a 10% chance for Memphis. I think storms are going to be nearby the area. And any of the strongest storms that can stay isolated long enough can have up to golf ball size hail. What I think is more likely going to happen is more of a wind event today. I think we might transition to a line of thunderstorms pretty quickly, but the initial development can have up to some golf ball size hail. And there's even an outside chance we could see some hail all the way down by Shreveport. A couple tail end Charlie storms, as we like to say, might form in this area after about 2 or 3 this afternoon. So a 2% chance there as well. And I think the northward extent of the storm is going to be just to the south of St. Louis. So that's what we're looking at for today in the first area. Second area is way up in the rural Pacific Northwest. Looks like we could see some storms in far southwestern sections of Montana and the far northern sections of Idaho. Not a whole lot of people in this area, but we could see some half-dollar size hail. 2% chance for all the tiny little towns sprinkled in the mountains here. So that's what we're looking at for today, two different areas. First, going to the future radar for that first area. See, a couple isolated storms, kind of turns into a line, but that's why I got that 10% chance for Memphis. Anything that can stay isolated long enough could have up to some golf ball size hail, like for example that storm there, maybe this one up in here. So we'll be watching that very carefully. Of course, if anything does occur that, say, a big storm moves into Memphis, we'll be here for live continuing coverage. I think it'd be refreshing for everyone to get some live coverage for somewhere other than Colorado Springs or anywhere on the Front Range, really. So we also have here, going to the Pacific Northwest, you see a couple storms forming, and for the most part, more heavy rain and downbursts of wind. Again, strongest storms could have some half-dollar size hail. Going into your day tomorrow, looks like we're going to have another risk for hail in areas kind of unusual for this time of year. Southeast doesn't typically get storms like this in August, and neither does, well, the East Coast a little more regular, but the East Coast doesn't get a ton of hail normally to begin with, so it's still fairly unusual. We could see some up to golf ball size hail in any isolated supercells that form in Pennsylvania or into Maryland, into Virginia, right along the Appalachians here. So we'll be watching this through the afternoon, and a second area that we'll be watching here in southeastern Colorado, a very rural area, again up to golf ball size hail for there as well. So two different areas on both sides of me right there. And with that, we're showing future radar. Starting first in the Central Plains, see a couple storms form and just kind of turns into a big old batch of rain in the overnight hours on Tuesday, heading generally towards Oklahoma and central Kansas. We're also looking more active across the Northeast for your Tuesday. More numerous storms I think are going to be expected. I think it's just going to be hard for them to produce lots of hail. It's looking more like line segments. That really keeps that hail size down. But if anything can turn into a supercell, which is very possible. We've seen a couple times already this month in the Northeast. We could squeak out a couple golf ball reports. Maybe we'll get lucky, get one in the DC, Baltimore area. Very densely populated section of the Northeast. Looking ahead, 5-day forecast. Anything else interesting on tap? Do we have any other unusual places that we're going to be seeing any hail? C3 Groups, shout out to that sponsor again for sponsoring these 5-day forecasts. Today you got that 5% chance of a 3-star. That's really, if anything, moves towards Memphis, up to golf ball size hail, moderate population. Tomorrow, high population. Northeast is one of the most densely populated areas of the country. Probably the most densely populated area of the country that can get hail, since California typically doesn't. Up to some golf ball size hail, but still only a 2% chance for a 3-star. Wednesday, however, 1% chance. There is a chance for hail, but it is in a very rural area of eastern Colorado, so could get some golf balls, but going to keep that population low. Honestly, might just keep our pretty long streak we've had of hail every single day since about the end of April, making it all the way to the second half of August. This is kind of unusual. We were looking at that a little bit earlier. Thursday, I think we have a little bit better chance for some bigger hail. Low population, so still not super populated. There's going to be a decent little system kicking out into the northern plains on Thursday. So unfortunately, there's not going to be that many people affected on Thursday, but Friday is looking more interesting right now. I'm kind of, if I had to look at one particular day beyond the next 48 hours, keep an eye on Friday. Could have some storms in more populated areas. We'll see if that pans out. Still quite a few days out, but it is heartening to know that we're in the second half of August. And yes, the hurricane season is very quiet right now, but the jet stream is starting to flirt with the United States again, and that means we can see a little bit more hail activity in places other than the middle of nowhere or the front range of Colorado. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get a couple more storms to kick out before September rolls around, and of course, continuing beyond that. So this is your area concern on Wednesday. Again, very rural area, Texas Panhandle, Oklahoma Panhandle, far southeastern Colorado. Not a lot there, so really keeping that population low. Going on to your Thursday, it's up by Sioux Falls and just to the west of Omaha, but I think Friday is the one that's going to be much more interesting for folks. That's going from Kansas City, Omaha, a lot of Iowa, and just south of Minneapolis. This will obviously change. This is 5 days out, so we'll see if this can get more exciting or unfortunately less exciting. So just stay tuned with us through this week. We'll be talking about probably every single day all the way up till Friday and do those hail dances. Maybe we can get a pretty good storm out of this, maybe even a couple decent storms. We'll have to just wait and see. So make sure you follow us on Facebook if you haven't already. It's your first time viewing, or if you just check out our videos occasionally because someone else watches them, why don't you hit that follow button, hit like, follow, see first. Everything pops up top of your news feed so you don't miss anything that we post. And the Facebook algorithm doesn't bury it beyond all the other stuff that you might have on your news feed. And of course, you can call us, email us, or visit our website, hailtrace.com. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, and if you have any inquiries about what Hailtrace can offer to you, you can also contact us through one of these three or all three. You can blast us social media wise, whatever, if you want to get in contact with us. I'll see you again tomorrow at 12 p.m. here on Hailtrace, whether you're watching us on YouTube, Periscope, Facebook, on our app, website, wherever. We'll be here every single day at 12 p.m. thanks to C3. C3 group. Check them out in the description below. So I'll see you guys again tomorrow, unless, of course, we have any live coverage. And if not, we'll see you at 12 p.m. Have a great rest of your Monday, everyone. Talk to you tomorrow.